what's coming up next is something that I'm really looking forward. It's our very own format here at Pioneers Academy stage, and it's called Roasted. So the Academy stage usually is about people sharing insights, us or speakers coaching startups live on stage. You know, it's about like getting value out of it, learning something from it. Roasted maybe is something that our startups who come on stage can learn something too, because we deeply believe people grow with challenges. So the format is simple. We'll have 3 investors here, our grill masters, and then we'll have 3 startups coming on stage. And the startups will try to pitch as convincingly as they can do, and their company, the product, where they're going, why it's a cool investment case, maybe. And our grill masters will try to find as many loopholes there possible and weak points they can. So let's see where it goes to. OK, so first, we will have our investors on stage. We have Ekaterina Almask, who is the managing director from the Samsung Catalyst Fund. And she is a deep tech investor, so she's really looking for the deep tech stuff, people, if you have something to do. Then we have Ben Tompkins, who is a partner at Draper Esprit, and he runs the deal team. This is basically as tough as it can get, seeing a lot. And we have a very special guest. We have Markus Lang, who is the managing director of Pioneers Ventures. And Markus has a very interesting story, because 4 years ago, he was right on this stage on Roasted and was one of the startups being roasted. So for him, it's now payback time. All right, so please welcome on stage, warm applause, Ekaterina, Ben, and Markus. So, how are you feeling?
We're feeling good.
Excited?
Yeah. Excited.
OK, good. So there's also a part where you as the audience can participate using Slido. If you go to slido.com, hashtag Pioneers'18, and then select Academy, we call it our Roast-O-Meter. So it's a real-time poll where you can change your answer once you answered, and it shows you the options of advising them, turn on the heat and roast them harder. You can say, tease them a little bit more. You could say, slow down. This pitch is actually cool, where you like the idea. Or if you believe they're being roasted back, then you can mark grill masters. You are the ones getting roasted. Good. This is hopefully a highly interactive session. So we ask for your participation. Rejoice, clap, laugh, be part of the whole thing as much as you want. Good. So are you ready?
Of course. We're ready.
Are you ready? Does it sound ready?
Come on.
OK, so are you ready?
Yes.
Now that sounds ready. Good. With that having said, please welcome on stage our first startup, Get Smart. Welcome, Thomas.
Woo. Hi, guys. So I have a question for you. How are you going to actually do something about your longevity, right? So you surely haven't done anything yet, because we're still dying of diseases that are totally preventable by changing your lifestyle, your diet, and your environment. So that's a bit crazy. And the other thing is the health systems in place are totally overwhelmed by it, and only because it's things that are caused by actually our daily habits, OK? So how did we get there in the first place? There's a few things. First, we tend to treat diseases instead of going for proactive prevention. Tiredness is actually one of them. And one thing.
Could you just get to the punchline?
So the punchline is like we go to personalized health optimization at your fingertip, and we can make it accessible for everyone, right? So how do we get there? Well, first is thanks to genomic, right? 100 million times, OK? This is the this is how much the price dropped for sequencing your genomes. 100 million.
I'm sorry.
times.
How long did you have for this pitch? What
3
time?
minutes.
3 minutes. Okay.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, almost
okay.
done. Almost done. So what's going on from there is you can have an insight into your DNA, okay, and make the change that counts. Because you have in your DNA what makes you unique. Some people are very pretty here, some not so much. But you know, what we do
just
here.
Look at me. Why?
No, everybody here, right? But what I'm saying here is we tend to actually look at what you are unique, what is your uniqueness, and make the changes that count for you. So this is why we created this AI platform that takes your uniqueness, match thousands and thousands of data from research, decades of research in genomic, and actually help you to make those changes that count. So what are those changes? Lifestyle, diet, environment. But what's next is the way we're doing things differently is you are in charge of your data, okay?
But who cares about this sort of stuff? Is this like another millennial business plan that I'm
No,
seeing?
it's not a millennium business plan. It's about saving one of the biggest things here, ill health, and we're all dying from this. It's actually very serious.
Oh, we're all dying, right?
We're all dying, but too much preventive, you know, like it's too early. We die of cancer and stuff like that can be preventable. So let's not go to Mars and first, because we might not go there, you know, that's a problem. So the team is all scientific, obviously, and we are the state-of-lab laboratory and scientists, and we all make this accessible to you. We have an early traction of users of 1,000, and we developed an API. We've launched in January, so it's OK. And we have developed an API with 23andMe, which gives us potentially 5 million users to have directly access to their data. What we're doing as well is the platform itself, the business model that is based on your membership economy. And, done. All right?
All right, time is up.
Thank you. Thank you. Whoop.
So what exactly are you telling me? I mean, if I do the test, what would you tell me?
I would tell you that what are your priorities to optimize your health? And instead of waiting to get sick, we will fix that before, right?
And you can do that?
Yeah, we can do that by a mouth swab, sending this to the lab, and looking at those gene variants that can actually make you, prone to certain diseases.
Can you give me a specific example?
Yeah, so let's say, for example, myself, I've got one gene which is GTCM1. A lot of people talk about detoxification, right? And there's a lot of fat diets and all these things. I have this gene variant that tells me actually, well, with this, I can optimize my health by doing certain little life hacks and goals, right? And that will help me to actually prevent, to develop certain
cancer. Is it like
cancer.
a nice to have and you give me some life hacks, or can that really change my life?
It's very simple stuff. Like, for example, everybody talks about eating broccoli, but yeah, actually, this will be one life hack for my detoxification.
Yeah, but I know that without your app, that eating more vegetables would probably be healthier. Also, drinking less of this stuff and drinking more water would be better for me.
You would
I don't
have
need your app for that.
You would have that, but it's not as precise. What we're doing is we help you to avoid the guesswork, right?
But to Marcus's point, do you know how many people really care? I mean, we all know we should have healthcare, we should save into our pension, but we should have insurance. But does anyone ever do this stuff? I mean, how many people really care?
The UK government.
I mean, ask the audience. Who would buy this thing? Who would buy this in the audience, right? Anybody? Put your hand up. Would you buy this? Oh, we've got a few.
There we go. Well, our stand this morning, we sold a few, actually.
Ah, OK. All right. So how many have you sold? How many have you sold?
Well, this morning we sold 3. But
OK.
And in total? 3?
No, 3 in total. Well, no, in total a lot more. But then now it's a free platform for people who have done a 23andMe test, right? So you can go there and upload your data just within 30 seconds, and we prioritize your goals and life hacks, right? So and we want to... Yeah.
I hate to interrupt. It says turn on the heat and roast them harder.
Okay.
Go for it. Go for it.
So I'm leaving apart the fact that you have just made a comment about our attractiveness. I'm leaving this apart. So I don't know if you have recommendation for us through your platform. But I just think that you haven't said anything new to us. Basically, what you are saying, we have heard 1,000, 2,000 times, and yet the problem is not resolved. Because the fact is, the true fact is that we don't have data today to do these things. You can give all the promises, but we don't have data. So how much data do you have? Like from the 3 sales today, you have data? From where do you have data?
We have data. The current of nutrigenomics genomics is quite old, actually. Well, it's becoming, the technology. And all are peer-reviewed. So there's thousands, for each and every single genes we have, there's thousands of documented and research that proves that, OK, this type of things will interact with this gene to optimize this gene.
So how is it proved? Is it clinically verified? How do you prove it?
It's clinical. So
what is how many people have participated in the trials? Tell us data points, because you don't tell us anything. You give us something.
So some data points, for example. Let's say obesity, right, or type 2 diabetes is totally preventable, right?
This we know. You haven't said again, nothing new.
So it's totally preventable. There's one gene called PPRA1. This gene, if you have this variation and you...
Again, nothing new. I'm sorry, nothing new. Tell us something new.
So new or data? Because the data are not new.
No, this data we know. Tell us your data points from your startup that you believe.
I'll tell you about Pete, actually, who is someone you can go on my Instagram, gensmart.me, and you'll see Pete. Pete is one of our super users, because within 3 months' time, he's turned his life around.
Yeah, but why would you need you? I mean, obviously, I also should change my life.
Me,
and I know
platform.
that, if I do sports more regularly, eat healthier, sleep more, and drink more water instead of beer, it'd be better. But isn't that kind of obvious? And you would tell me, of course, I could prevent diabetes if I would have, like, I don't know, 10 kilo less? Or
not necessarily. Not necessarily, actually. Like, sport, for example, if you're prone to inflammation, can actually be, if you're overdue, you can actually.
So you are telling us now that you have discovered that sport is bad?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
Sport is
so what is?
Sport is awesome. What I'm saying is, if you have certain, we can make you more efficient in your sport regimen.
But like again, let's try to keep it as specific as possible. I'm doing the tests, and you're showing me life hacks.
Yeah.
Can you come up with 3 or 4 or 5 life hacks that are not like drink more water, sleep more, and do more sports?
No, it's a lot more specific than that. Okay. So let's go back to diabetes, for example. We know you're predisposed to that. We will take lyopic acid, which is one little thing that will prevent you that to happen. Fast twice a week.
Have you proven that it works?
Yeah, of course it works. There's all data proven.
So how many people you have proven? Like, have you monitored these people for, I don't know, 1 year, 2 years with your platform?
Study. Each of these studies that are on, that prove that. All of those studies has been used on huge cohorts and for many, many years, right?
Okay. Yeah. So you base this on the research results from previous years. So now you are basing your startup. So what is the added value of your startup? Because we have read this research that was done by someone. You have a lot of facts that are very generic. So what's your value?
It's not generic. It's moving from generic, actually, to more precise, right? So it's from the one-size-fits-all to a more precise, tailor-made things.
Like a couple of seconds left. What's your secret sauce? What's the one thing that makes a company special?
The secret sauce is your health data is for you to monitor, because your health is your responsibility, and if you don't take it your responsibility, you're going to end up in a statistic. And now we can do that. That's the secret sauce. So I invite you all into this new generation, new health folder. Take control of your health and do it now. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you, Get Smart. So, Marcus, how was your experience 4 years ago? I mean, were the grill masters as soft to you as you are now to these guys? I have a feeling it was tougher for you back then.
No, I just figured out that it's actually pretty hard to be a constant pain in the ass, right? So
you should try it.
All right, so the audience feedback for this session definitely was you should roast them harder. Maybe we take the feedback from the first pitch, apply it to the second pitch, and be a bit tougher on them.
Lucky guy.
Our lucky second pitcher then is from the startup Sense. So please welcome on stage Daniel.
Taste a better world. The way we produce protein today, we are destroying our planet. According to the United Nations, we have to double our protein production by 2050. And we just cannot catch more fish or raise more cattle. Something needs to change. Let's take, for example, beefsteak. For just normal, typical beefsteak, you need 5 kilos of feed, water equal to a 2-hour-long shower, and cattle produces more greenhouse gases than all transportation combined. But what if I told you there is a protein source which requires much less feed, much less land, almost no water, and produces 100 times less greenhouse gases? This protein source is crickets.
Impressive.
Crickets.
More specifically, cricket flour, because it's fine powder, and it has the same quality protein as beef, chicken, or fish. And we took cricket flour and produced the least processed protein bars on the market.
Woo-hoo!
And it's just the beginning, because with cricket flour, you can make ordinary foods more nutritious and much healthier.
Cricket flour.
Last month...
He's talking about insects flour, yeah?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do people think of insect flour?
It's tasty.
Would
you like to taste it?
Yeah, I would actually, yeah. I'll check it out.
I will continue in the meanwhile.
Please keep going, I'll tell you.
To give you
so last month, we have launched our bread in 400 stores of Reva Group retail chain.
Come on.
And talking numbers...
Hang on a second. I mean, 1/3 of your audience is saying no here.
Man, it's pineapple and
How many
coconut.
people do you think will eat cricket flour?
I bet many.
Many?
Who would like to taste it? Yeah.
Oh my
I don't
God,
have
okay.
so many bars.
Woo!
Oppa.
No, but seriously, you're honestly suggesting that I'm going to replace my steak with cricket flour?
I would do though.
Really?
Yeah.
But what about the...
Did you taste it?
I did taste it, yeah. It's kind of okay, but it's not a steak, right?
Maybe you like chocolate one, right?
Yeah.
So here you are.
Chocolate? Chocolate? Come on, Katie. There must be one that you like.
Get
Yeah,
some
chocolate.
feedback.
I will try later. Let's
How big is the market? Go on, go for it.
So we have numbers here.
Okay, we have like a real-life demo. Sorry to interrupt. You'll get the time.
Yeah. Pineapple and coconut.
She looks at me in a way that I can't tell what it is. Are you excited, disgusted, like unsure?
Anybody else want to try the chocolate one quickly? Chocolate?
How do you feel?
It tastes like bread, but it's more like something with oats, like typical bar.
It's fruity and nutty.
A typical bar that tastes like bread. Does it tasty or is it like meh?
It's not meh.
It's not meh. All right, okay.
But you need to tell us. I mean, who's gonna? I mean, we kind of finished the pitch now, right? And we haven't really understood what you're doing. I mean, it's insect flour, and you're going to replace the steak and the chips. But who's gonna use this? Who's gonna eat it?
Like people.
People. All right.
but like, can you? Nice one, by the way. But like, can you? Like in terms of proteins in there, is it comparable with like the steak you've shown us?
Oh, definitely. It's just, it needs 12 times less feed, right?
For like the same amount of proteins? Like
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like not cricket compared to cow. It's compared to a gram of protein. It's just really much more sustainable.
Okay, and you're kind of breeding crickets.
I have it on another slide, actually. This is our cricket farm. It's
Fantastic.
the largest cricket farm on the world.
Wow.
And by automation and IoT and further scaling, we are ultimately getting and reaching our goal to get crickets cheaper than chicken. And we can get there really soon.
Question. Like some farmers like most farmers give names to their cows. Did you do the same with your crickets?
Well, there is like 500 million crickets there. So, no.
All right, but like, are you earning money already? So, I mean, one thing is like having revenue, but how much does it cost compared to like other sources of protein?
So that's the logic. It's gonna be the cheapest source of animal protein in 2 to 3 years. But we need support. We need to raise awareness in customer base, right? So we can in the end really improve the technology of raising crickets.
But what's like the biggest roadblock right now?
Sorry?
What's the biggest roadblock for you right now? What like prevents you from growing or prevents you from growing faster?
So I would say it's scale and automation. It's automation.
So money ultimately.
So we just need to have machines there instead of people, right?
Okay.
So what is your competitive advantage? I don't understand, because this is a big problem you're addressing, but you are not alone.
That's
so
right.
what is your unique positioning here? We didn't get it.
Not compared to like cows, but
compared to other crickets.
Like other innovative sources.
We are the only company in Europe which has consumer brand and farm as well. So we store it ourselves.
That's a good thing, right?
We attack our costs, right?
But like people also could say it's not necessarily a good thing to like do the whole stuff from like market.
How do you sell? Yeah. So you say you're having a brand. How is it valued? I'm seeing for the first time. So where do I find your products today?
So you can definitely buy it online all around Europe, and we are in retail chain, mostly in our pilot market, Czech Republic, but now working on expansion to DACH region. So you can easily find it online. Just type sensebar.com.
If you're doing online sales, you also can talk a bit about unit economics. So what's like the lifetime value versus acquisition cost? Because I assume it's pretty costly to acquire a new customer, and your margin will be like tiny.
And how much your average customer is buying? Like every day, every week, every year, once?
It depends how much you like our bars, right?
But
this
on average,
is the question.
Right? I mean,
this is what we are asking you. You know, like how much your customers like your products.
So, like usual customer orders every month or every 40 days.
Like one bar.
He bought like display of 12 bars. That's like the usual box, and our customers.
For 1 month, like a bar every 2 days.
Yeah, something like that.
And how much is it in retail?
So our energy bars are 250 euros, and our protein bar is 320, and it's made with all natural ingredients.
So I see it as a very niche
I'm sorry, the audience is thinking that actually you're the ones being roasted.
We're just like...
No, like 10% of the audience thinks that.
Taken aback. Just really...
Half of the audience.
I think they are right.
Half of the audience has voted.
We are speechless. We don't know what to ask because we're... okay. But tell us a little bit more. How are you going to win in this market? It's a difficult market. You go to consumer. There is so much competition in products. You're positioning something very unique, very new. People might be very averse to try this. And you know, you have a big idea about, I don't know, how to save the environment, which is fantastic. But consumers, they just buy everyday products. How are you going to win?
You obviously need to explain it to them, right? Then it needs to look good, and then it needs to taste good. And if these three are satisfied, then we are good to go.
That sounds super easy, right?
Yeah, we have seen so many examples where it didn't work.
I mean, you know, I think that's right. I mean, look, a Mars bar looks good, and a Mars bar also tastes good, right? So what's the difference between... Apart from the fact that I'm saving the planet, what's the difference?
From what?
The Mars bar tastes good. The Mars bar looks good.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I mean, are people really, when it comes to it, are really going to make that decision to eat insect food as opposed to eating chocolate?
Well, it's good nutrition. It's much better for your body.
Yeah, but I'm not eating a Mars bar for nutrition. I'm eating a Mars bar for chocolate and sugar primarily, right? That's why I eat Mars bars.
Well, you need some protein if you know that.
Yeah, like, I get the protein from the steak, right? The steak I'll have later on tonight.
But like, isn't that the biggest challenge, that you don't wanna like stop people from eating Mars bars and take yours, but like you wanna
I'm not targeting customers of Mars bars. That's the logic.
Yeah, but like whom are you targeting? Like consumers?
Yeah,
like
how big is the market
now, or like?
Like I don't know if you are our customers. I guess because you are asking, it's not. But
probably not.
People care about what they eat, right? They care about what they eat, so they eat our bar because it's just premium ingredients there.
How large is the market?
Sorry?
How large is the market opportunity for you?
So premium snack bars is really in billions of euros. I don't have a slide here,
so
but it's
a relatively
a large
small
one.
Market in millions of euros.
Like
I'm so sorry, the time is up.
Yeah. But you did a great job.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done. Give it up for Daniel from Sense. Thank you. All right.
Cool product.
What next?
Yeah. How did it taste for you? I didn't ask you, actually.
It was actually quite good, yeah, but not quite the same as chocolate or steak, but it was not bad.
Okay. Good. So our next and last startup on stage here at Roasted is Butler Roy, and the pitcher is Philip. So please welcome Philip on stage.
All right. My name is Philip, and I'm co-founder and CEO of But Leroy. Scheduling appointments sucks. True. And I want to start with that statement because it's 2018 and we haven't solved the problem yet, really. It's still a hustle. Your favorite scheduling tool is probably WhatsApp, right? All those chats that go back and forth.
It's Doodle.
Yeah, or no, it's WhatsApp probably.
No, for me, it's Doodle.
Yeah, we'll change your mind later probably. So, and then in the end, if you, I want to invite you to have a look at one of my most recent ones. Simeon wanted to go out to the cinema with all of us. And I really wanted to join, but I couldn't because I had to prepare all the decorations for my dog's birthday party. And Brittany had to look after her plants and all those important things, right? Well, there's always a fucking excuse. And we truly believe at But Leroy that every one of you deserves your own personal butler that takes care of all those tedious tasks instead of you voting manually on Doodle. Well, you can reserve a dinner at your favorite restaurant. You can have him call a cab for you, an Uber. Find time for that family dinner finally. Or also make an appointment with you and a business. How does it work? Well, that's the app. It's available for iOS and Android. And you just tell Roy when roughly you want to do something, like next week or once a week. And then you set a specific time of the day. And that's it. Just like your favorite scheduling tool. You can go and share the link to everyone, and the date is found completely automatically, so no voting process involved. All right, but we are also the butler for your calendar. That means it connects automatically with all different calendars that you're already using, like Google, Outlook, however they call, Todoist, all that kind of stuff. Especially for the World Cup, we'll be coming out with a feature where you can follow your favorite team, Netflix, where you can follow your favorite releases.
But hey, quick question. Let's say you are successful, right? Let's say you pull it off, right?
That slide pretty much proves that we are.
What stops every other calendar company out there just replicating this? I mean, why? What's the hard-to-do bit?
Well, first of all, we're not only a calendar. That's just a nice bit. So we're providing a really cool calendar for all the users, but on top of that, we do the automatic scheduling of the stuff.
Could you elaborate on that? Because you mentioned, okay, so for me the process was very similar to my favorite scheduling app,
all right.
Where I would like share the link, and then people would say, like, share their availability, right? And now you tell me it would be done automatically. How?
Well, we take everyone's calendar into consideration, and you can connect virtually any calendar. On top of that, we consider factors that are relevant for this event. Let's say you want to go for a run. Then we will actually consider stuff like the weather.
Okay, but like, that's only true if all my friends happen to have your app, right? If not, they manually...
They can then manually design, but if they want in the process, they can download the app, and from that time on...
Yeah, but like if all of my friends use the Doodle app, it also tells them automatically, like, at least suggests them.
Yeah, it suggests. It's not really automatically. Also, it's not on a repeating basis. Okay. Well, let me finish for 1 second. So we have raised our first round of investment. Could I please get the slides back for 1 second?
Actually, your presentation time is up. How much longer do you need?
Only 20 seconds.
All right.
We raised a round of investment already.
20 seconds.
Got a great partner with Book a Table, so we can book restaurants. And also one more thing, I think it's also unfair that it's 3 against 1. That's why we had our mascot change the executive, or have the same executive dress code as Draper Esprit. And yeah. So that's why we changed for this very special
Bitcoin
occasion.
Tie, very good.
So maybe it's now 2 to 1, 2 to 2, or 3 against 2 even.
Good strategy. Yeah.
Okay, all right, now I'm ready to get roasted.
Is it a product or is it a feature?
It's a product as well as a feature. So it's also available for Amazon Alexa, for example. It's also available for Zapier, for example, where you can integrate with all, I think, more than 1,000 apps.
And like
why is it so hard to do? Why others cannot do it? I guess it goes back to this question because I still don't get it. Why is it so hard?
What exactly?
To do this.
Like scheduling?
Yeah, because any team could go just with a little bit of money, maybe develop the same product. How how do you stay competitive?
Well, first of all, I don't think that it's really that easy, because if it were, then it would have been already solved, like on an fully automatical basis.
Like for
what does it mean, fully automated?
It means you just say, I want to go, maybe the 4 of us, after this, we want to join
it's
and
like,
go
do
for
you
a
use
dinner.
a lot of data, or
Sure.
where do you take your data?
From all those calendars that you've previously...
So just calendars, but it's not hard to do. What is so hard?
It's also not only calendars. If you allow us, GDPR compliant, to access your location history,
but everyone can do it. Google can do it. Everyone can do it. The same. So what is so technically hard to implement?
Well, sometimes it's not only the technical aspect that is hard. It's also marketing.
So your team is not very probably unique on technical side. It's on the marketing side that your
our
team is
team
unique.
is very technical.
Okay.
Like how
tell us,
are you earning money?
us.
Sorry. Okay, your question was different.
Go ahead.
Let's do one question after the other.
Yeah.
Well done. Well said.
How to earn money?
So what
how are you earning money?
How we're earning money? Well, like with
affiliates,
with the should I answer the question, or do you want to answer the question?
Just go ahead.
Okay. Well, we have customers, and we want to enable our users to schedule appointments with businesses. For example, Book a Table is a good example. They provide 50,000 restaurants, and we can find the time for maybe the 4 of us, and then also make the reservation.
So do you have access to all these restaurants?
That's exactly right, yeah.
So you made partnerships. This is what your uniqueness, or tell us.
Exactly, yeah. Then we have also, for example, one investor that's in the automotive industry. There they have the problem with car repair shops, buying new cars with test drives.
So how labor intensive is to go to make all these partnerships, because you need access to all these little shops?
Yeah, so that's why we're focusing on highly scalable topics. Like we wouldn't go to one restaurant after the other, but we would rather go to a chain like Book a Table, where we could in one instant get 50,000 restaurants on the platform.
And so what's the money flow in this? Where is the benefit for you and for investors?
It's that the businesses pay for those appointments.
Okay, all right. And you're on the market for quite a while now, and you mentioned you're on Alexa and like mobile. Yeah. Can you share some stats on like retention, especially retention?
Yeah, so we've been more or less in the family and friends and family part so far. So we haven't invested any marketing budget. We're at around 10,000 users at this point, purely organic, yeah.
Like monthly active users, or
no, monthly active, it's a little bit less than that.
It's a little bit less, or it's much less?
It's much less.
Okay.
So you know, I'm really puzzled here with one big thing, because you know, we are hearing all the time that venture capital, for instance, would be interested in either big disruption of technology or big disruption of the business model. I don't hear anything of this here. You know, we are talking today about artificial intelligence and, you know, general machines that are smart. Here we are talking about an application that schedules things and goes into calendars and looks into databases. So what's the catch? Why would we be interested to listen even?
Who, like the customer or the investor?
The investors. You are talking to investors.
Would you want to try and help me? I just convinced.
Well, I'd love to help you, right? So the funny thing is I actually invested in a business exactly like this 10 years ago, right? And I lost all my money over about 3 years.
Well, you were 10 years too early.
I feel for you, because I want to believe and I want to help you out, but then I just lost loads of money about 10 years ago doing exactly this.
Yeah.
So what's changed? The bit that I'm still struggling with, right, is what's the bit that you've figured out? Is it the natural language recognition, for example?
Oh, that's a good point. Well, you know.
Okay, well, come on then, tell us.
You know,
what's
probably
good?
the
What's the hard bit?
AI and all those kind of guys.
It's really 2 versus 2. I like it.
Yeah, I had to make a level playing field. Now, it's.
I'll stand over here. Come on. Right. So.
So
what's
you know
the hard to do bit? What's the hard to do bit?
We're not focusing on NLP at all.
Okay.
We are focusing on finding the best possible time, based on various factors. Like I said, weather could be one of those factors. It could be your location history that points us towards maybe you are not available at this point in the future, even though you don't have an appointment in your calendar.
Okay. I think we're there.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. So before we end the session, quick question. Would any one of you maybe consider investing in any one of the companies?
I like the insect tech company.
Yeah, the insect was actually
I mean, it actually tasted all right, I have to say.
All right. And like one final word, for advice for all the future startups who might be standing here and pitching, Like, what could they improve based on the showcase they've seen in the future? One thing, if they need
don't give a shit. It's really.
Maybe I can just elaborate a little bit. So I think the first speech completely lost me. So there was nothing that caught attention actually, and to say we should go after this. The last one actually was lacking a lot on the uniqueness, and you saw we were struggling to understand why is this story is going to be successful, and we are hearing this thousands times again, and we don't hear anything in back. So I think it's very important to focus on the very first sentences in the pitch, on those few things to catch attention and to tell about uniqueness, and that's work.
Anything you want to add, Ben?
No, I think the insect tech one almost lost it because we had the pictures of the world blowing up, etc. If we'd gone straight to the picture of cricket, that would have really got me.
All right.
But so yeah, get to the point very quickly. That's
okay, and this is some advice having here, but after the break that we're going to now, you will get even more advice because Ben is coming back for another session, fundraising one-on-one, do's and don'ts, together with Carlos from Seed Camp. So we're looking forward to have you back again. Until then, we're just going to the break now. I'd like to thank all three of you and the startups and, of course, you for a great session. Thank you very much. Enjoy break. Thank you.